We've got the Warriors and Wizards, followed by the Timberwolves and Lakers. But before we get to our doubleheader, we've got an hour-long TNT NBA tip-off presented by Auto Trader, during which we will announce the starters for the All-Star game in Charlotte. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley at your service tonight. Before we go any further, I want to join the chorus of all those who are sending their best to Victor Oladipo. One of the most popular guys out there, just a great dude and such a talent in this league. And to be lost for the season now after what happened last night, it's a ruptured quad tendon, and he is out for the season.
Ernie, number one, Victor, you know we love you. We love having you on the talent show. You're a hell of a player. I almost started crying last night, Ernie, because I knew what it was. That was the same injury that ended my career.
Yep.
And when I saw it, I said, he tore his quad. And it's awful for the Pacers. But, man, he's such a great kid and a great player. All our thoughts and prayers are with you, Victor.
Wish you well, brother.
Yeah, you know what? You know, it's so unfortunate. You know, Victor is, like Charles, I'm going to reiterate, one of the good guys in the NBA. I've known him since he got into the league. It's pretty funny because he and his guys that he associate with, Jay and all of his camp, when they're in LA, it's like, where's the gym? Kenny, you got the keys to the gym, open up. And we get in the gym and just work out, you know, for the last couple of years and coming to events and going to his things. So I'm just sick. I was sick last night just hearing that, you know, and knowing that it was possibly that injury after it came out with, you know, with Charles, which how serious it was with Charles, you know, just wishing you and his best. His mom is great.
The good
whole
thing,
family's great.
The good thing, it's the same injury that Tony Parker had. And he's a lot younger than Tony Parker. Tony Parker's playing very well, so that's encouraging. I was already going to retire, so it had no effect upon me, but I would call Tony Parker right away and say, hey, tell me how you did your rehab, because Tony Parker's been playing very well this year.
Yeah, he was a young guy. He was hustling for the ball. Freak injury. It happened, but, you know, the good thing is, you know, everyone's wishing him well. He's going to get the surgery, whatever. He's going to do rehab, and I believe he's going to come back even stronger.
Yeah, prayers up for Victor Oladipo from all of us here. As we get set to announce the All-Star starters, a brief explanation of how the voting works. Voting by you, the fans, counts 50%. Balloting by a media panel counts for 25%, and the final 25% comes from player ballots. When all of those numbers are put in a computer, it spits this out. This is 17 pages worth of names and numbers. And at the top of the, you know, if you're the top 3 front court and top 2 back court in each conference, those are the 10 starters. If there was a tie in the weighted score, the fan vote is the tiebreaker, and that did come into play in the Western Conference. Here's the way it turned out in the West as we reveal the starters for the All-Star game
Ernie,
in Charlotte. We begin.
This was the best the fans ever did. I have no problems with anybody.
LeBron James
will
be the captain on one side. He's tied with Kobe now with 15 All-Star game starts, averaging 27 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists on the year. Joining him along the front line, Kevin Durant, 10 straight All-Star appearances in this, his 12th season, averaging 28 points a game, which is number 4 in the league. All-Star Game MVP in 2012, 4-time scoring champion, and
horse champion.
2-time horse champion, 09 and 10. Paul George is the other starter in the front court.
He's played great all year.
27 points a game is number 8 in the league. Career high in points, rebounds, and steals this year. He won a tiebreaker over Anthony Davis for the starting spot in the Western Conference.
Wow.
We go to the backcourt. Steph Curry, 6th straight All-Star appearance. He's averaging 29 points a night, which is number 3 in the league. He's 5th in three-point percentage. They're 28 and 8 when he plays, 5 and 6 when he doesn't, and he makes it look effortless. And James Harden joins him in the backcourt. 7th straight All-Star selection. I don't even know how much else you have to say about this guy.
Oh, yeah, 61 last night.
Leads the league in scoring.
Yeah,
with
61
36.
last night.
He's 4th in assists.
Yeah, 61 last night.
31 games of at least 30, including 21 straight 30-point games. Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook tied for 3rd.
Wow.
Behind Steph Curry and James Harden. And so that Anthony Davis situation with Paul George
Well,
was...
Paul George, no disrespect
was
to Anthony
interesting.
Davis, but Paul George deserved to be a starter. I saw, obviously, when we had to pick out our reserves, I saw both lists today. In my 30-something years in the NBA, I thought the fans and coaches and media got it perfect.
Well, it's a combination of all three, so it's not just one. So what was the fan?
Well, we're gonna.
If the fans would have wanted it.
We're going
which would
to
happen?
reveal that
Right,
right
that's what-
now.
so then you know.
Here's
You
the
know.
way the fans wanted it. The fans
Okay,
wanted
see, they wanted
James,
Doncic.
Doncic, and
Rose.
Kevin Durant.
See?
They
That's
didn't
why-
want Paul George or Anthony Davis
that don't make it right.
starting. And Steph Curry and Derrick Rose were the fan choices
Okay.
in their balloting. Now, on the media side, LeBron, Durant, and Anthony Davis with Harden and Curry. In fact, Harden ahead of Curry in the backcourt among the media. And
Well,
on the
he deserves that.
and on the player ballot, James, Durant, and Davis, Curry and Harden in the backcourt. So actually, when you look at it, Paul George trailed in the player vote and he trailed in the media vote, but the fan vote, that's where Anthony Davis was fifth, and that's what cost him a starting spot.
Well, Paul George deserved to start, but I also have a problem with Damian Lillard. The players should have him higher than that. Damian Lillard.
Hey, Damon, you see where your peers are thinking when they come to Portland?
He should be higher than 5.
And you touched on James Harden. I mean, again, when you saw what happened, and what was the headline in the New York paper, Madison Square Harden? I mean, he went for 61 points last night.
I mean, we understand that the Knicks aren't a very good basketball team.
That's an understatement.
You know, but 61 points is 61 points.
No question.
There's no way around it. And his ability to score in multiple ways, the last guy I've seen to do this is Kobe Bryant. To be able to score this easy, he's the Kobe Bryant of this era, scoring at this kind of clip, doing things I haven't seen.
And he's known for the three, and he went
Shaq
5
on this
20
list.
last night.
Damn,
And,
Shaq.
Of course, you know.
Must have been pretty good in your day.
Yeah, back in 2000 to have
I'm gonna have to
numbers
go
like
back
that.
and look at some old videotapes.
He went 5 for 20 last night. You know, he's known for the three ball. You know, he's very deadly behind the three ball. Went to the free throw line 20 times, but Kenny's right. He's very hard to stop. My only fear for him is he's doing a lot of scoring
Doing a
this
lot.
last month. Hopefully
There's
he
some
doesn't
people
get
that
tired
are
in the postseason.
There's some people, Shaq, and you, Charles, you can kind of jump in on this. That's saying, oh, there's probably a bunch of guys in the league that could do what he's doing if they had that shot opportunity. I don't believe that. I only believe there's one or two guys that could get 50 consistently at this clip. Now, you guys were prolific scorers. If you had got the ball that much and they needed you to do that much,
Well,
could you score
I
at
think-
that clip? Because I don't know if a lot of guys can do that as being an NBA player.
No, because number one, James
Said yes or no?
no.
Thank you.
Well, I think Steph Curry and KD are probably the only two guys because those two will be the only two guys who are going to shoot that many threes.
Right.
But that would be the caveat. Like, I can't get 50 a night unless I made 5 to 7 to 10 threes.
Right.
Like, I can get 30 or 40, but
He took 20 last night.
yeah. I mean, so
And he got the free throw line.
That's my
20
point.
times.
Yeah.
That's my point. And they're saying that, a lot of guys, being a former NBA player, one, the fatigue of it, the mental preparation and everything that he does, a lot of guys can't do that. No.
But can he maintain it?
But can he maintain it? He's maintained it for longer than I've ever seen.
But I don't
anybody
think you can
maintain
win.
it
I don't think you can win like that.
But I don't know if you can win, but guys, listen.
It's amazing.
15 and 6.
Everyone can't do
15
that.
and 6 over this 21-game stretch, and when he scored at least 30 points.
There aren't 10 guys in the NBA that can do that.
No,
And
it's
they
not
have-
10. It's like less than 5 now.
Thank you.
Rockets
That's what-
number 5 in the West. We will talk a bit later about who we think should be the Western Conference reserves. That comes a little bit later in our show. Let's get a little Twitter action here. Oh, that's from the Timberwolves. Yeah, Derrick Rose coming close, but not quite close enough. He did win the tiebreaker over Westbrook for the number 3 spot, but you only got 2 spots in the backcourt for All-Star starters. When we come back, we will announce the starters from the Eastern Conference. Keep it right here. Well, the time is fast approaching for All-Star 2019 in the Queen City of Charlotte. Friday, February 15th with the Rising Stars, and of course All-Star Saturday night on the 16th, and the game itself on the 17th, exclusively on TNT. Who wants to see the Eastern Conference?
We all do, Ernie. America's waiting with bated breath.
So here's your other captain. LeBron's one captain, and the Greek Freak is the other captain.
Deservingly.
4.4 million votes
Wow.
received.
Oh,
4.4.
27 points a game is number 9. 13 rebounds a night is number 6. He's shooting 58%. Ooh, has 16 games of 25, 10, and 5, the most in the NBA. Who's on the front line along with the Greek Freak? How about Kawhi Leonard?
well deserved.
Third All-Star selection in his 8th season. 28 points a game is number 5. That's a career high. 8 rebounds a game is a career high. He has 15 games of 30-plus and a high of 45 for the 36-14 Toronto Raptors. Joel Embiid, the third frontline starter from the East, second All-Star appearance. 22 games of 30-plus. He's got 40 double-doubles, tied for the most in the league.
I know you're a warrior.
27 points a game, 13 rebounds, and he's 7th in blocks. Jason Tatum finished 4th in the balloting for the front court. In the backcourt, Kyrie Irving.
Yes.
6th appearance in 2019. 24 points a game is 15th in the league. He's had 10 games with at least 10 assists this year. He only had one game like that last season for the 30-18 Celtics. And Kemba Walker joins him as an Eastern Conference All-Star starter. This is his 3rd appearance and his first start. 25 points a game, 13 games with at least 30, had 60 against the Sixers in November.
Yeah, 60?
D-Wade and Ben Simmons tied for 3rd, with D-Wade getting the nod for officially the number 3 spot by virtue of the fan vote. So Kemba Walker for the Charlotte Hornets, and how cool is that going to be in a place where he's played his entire career in front of his folks there in Charlotte and getting a chance to start in the All-Star game.
I've been blessed to be a starter at home in the All-Star game, and there's nothing like it. And Kemba's been fantastic all year. He don't get a lot of love. We don't show the Hornets ever. Ever. But hey, listen, I'm happy for him. He's a great kid. He's a hell of a player. Good for him.
I mean, at his size, to be able to dominate the game offensively the way he does, James Harden-like, 25 points a game. Kemba says he's 6 feet, but I would guarantee you he's 5'10", without question. And to get into the lane, the ball handling wizardry, and we talk about Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry's handle all the time. I put Kemba Walker's handle right in there with them and say, let's go at it.
How about that backcourt? The handles in that backcourt with Kyrie and Kemba.
And I think he totally got in because of the way he played. These two knuckleheads over here, record this and record that. The guy's a hell of a guard. He's actually playing like.
Yeah, but their record's pretty good.
No, it's not. They're one game under 500.
No, they're in the playoffs.
They're in the playoffs.
24, number 7.
They're in the 7th seed.
If you're under 500, it's not winning. Don't even try. Don't even try.
But you can still get in the playoffs, and they are number 7.
Hey, listen,
He's an all-star, and congratulations.
he's in the playoffs if the season ended today.
I'm not taking a Nick. I'm gonna take him.
Let's see how the breakdown went for the fans, etc. So the fans wanted the Greek Freak and Leonard and Embiid. That's what they got. They wanted Irving and Wade, but as we told you, D-Wade just missing out as he finished 3rd. The media. How did the media vote? Greek Freak, Leonard, Embiid, all getting 99 votes. And you saw Tatum, Siakam, and Vucevic. The guards, Irving and Walker. And how did the players vote?
Gotta be interesting.
Well, they got it the same way.
Okay, good.
So, Giannis Antetokounmpo, by the way, in the player vote.
They voted the same way, but more votes went to Kemba from the players.
In the player vote.
Because he deserved it.
No, I'm just saying it was voted the same way, but it was a landslide.
Which player got the most votes, East or West, in the player vote? Who do you think?
Giannis.
Giannis, yes, he did.
Yeah.
He got the most votes. And
better
also,
say that.
but the thing that also happens when the players are voting, and again, this 17-page breakdown, you can go through it and see who else.
Some crazy ones.
We'll let you go.
Who else got votes?
Give some crazy ones.
Kem Birch of Orlando.
Who?
Kem Birch, K-H-E-M, Kem Birch, who's
You
played
can
in
spell
20
his name
games
any way you
for
want
the
to. I
Magic.
have no idea who that is.
Come on, man.
Walter Lemon of the Celtics, who played 5 games last year.
See, they
got a
just be
vote.
joking around.
See, now it's people.
Dante Grantham of
He should have got in. Celtics 30 and 18.
Dante Grantham and Wenyen Gabriel. who have not
Them
played,
guys
who
walked
have not
in,
played this year.
Walked in and bit me on the ankle. I wouldn't know who they were.
Why would they
And
bite you in the
see,
ankle?
you are allowed to vote for yourself. I don't know that those guys voted for themselves or if a buddy voted for them, but
Well, who would bite you on the ankle? Why would they walk in
It
and
was
bite you?
rhetorical, fool.
No, but that's not a saying.
yes,
if they
it is.
walk me in and slap me on the back of the head, I got it. But walk you in and bite you on an ankle,
What if I just slapped the hell out of you on national television?
I would love to try it.
I have a question for
Yes,
y'all.
sir.
How do you feel about D. Wade?
Great guy, great player.
But I mean, now he's relying on coaches to try to
Wait.
get him in. I mean, and look, I know you've always said this is not a lifetime achievement award, but when you come to the end of a career and it is the last year for D. Wade, isn't there part of you that says, boy, it'd be nice to see him at All-Star Weekend?
Well, for me, I don't look at it like that because there's guys who might not, this is why I don't like it, Ernie. There's guys who only going to make the All-Star team one time in their life. This might be their only time. And Kenny talks about it all the time. He says that he had one regret. He never made the All-Star team. Probably the times he deserved it, and they gave it to somebody who was more popular. And listen, we all love Dwayne Wade, but listen, on these reserves, there's some guys I'm pulling for who this might be the only time in their life they're going to make the All-Star team, and that's why I don't like that.
I mean, it'll be nice for the game, nice for the fan, but D. Wade is definitely a Hall of Famer. But what I know about him, he don't want sympathy votes. So I think he would probably say, I'm not playing like the old D. Wade. I'm not playing like an all-star. If I get in, cool. But if he doesn't get in, I don't think he's going to be complaining.
Or maybe
I think we could do
maybe there would
something-
be a way to recognize
There you go. That's
D.
what I was
Wade
gonna
at
say.
All-Star Weekend.
I think that's what should happen. I think that Adam Silver, and he's been doing this farewell tour, giving jerseys.
He's
How
still might
about
get in there.
how about if every All-Star gives D. Wade a jersey during the game because he's been on this farewell tour? I would.
They didn't do
love
that for
something-
Charles.
Well, Charles didn't. We didn't know he was on a farewell tour. We just thought he was playing bad. So, difference.
Oh, that was nice.
Wait, he got shot in his last game.
Oh, that's true. True,
Did what?
But he
Remember
made
you
the
run up
All-Star-
and down the court, a sniper got you?
But I just think that we could do something to acknowledge him. I don't know about
Well,
making
Ernie,
it, especially there's some Nets and some
Now, I know we're going to get into all of
Wizards,
these
but also,
reserve possibilities in just a
Magics.
the players didn't vote for him. They don't want to see it. When you put up, he wasn't in the top 5 on the player votes. And I mean, like I said, that's no disrespect. The guy is an all-timer.
But it's a weekend for the fans, isn't it?
It's
you
a
could
week.
get him, put him in a skills challenge.
Yeah, put him in the skills challenge.
So why y'all change the voting process then?
No, Ernie wanted to.
No, but I'm
Ernie
just
living in,
saying.
Because I think
You also worry about the fans and why y'all switch.
but they also worried about the players not being able to vote, and they also worried about the people who cover the game not
It's
being
always
able to.
been about the fans. It should always be about.
Well, I think the media who
I think this combination's good.
Yeah, I think the media who covers the game has a big influence on what the fans think as well. But I also think the players who play the game should have a vote as well. So
Yeah.
it's a
They do.
And
Right,
if
that's why they
if we didn't have the player vote, we never would have said Kem Birch tonight, and we've said it now 3 times.
Please, can we get a
As a
picture
matter
of
of
this
fact.
dude?
Hey, do we have?
I guarantee you, y'all don't have a picture of him.
Kemba Walker's coming up next, by the way.
Hey, now, let me ask you a question.
And we have Kemba's reaction to getting the news that he is an All-Star starter.
He didn't know. Oh.
I think they kept it pretty tight, pretty close to the vest
That's awesome.
during the most of the day. He made it, well deserved, that's for sure. And when we come back,
It would have been terrible if he was sitting there and didn't make it.
yeah, we will be chatting. We will be chatting with Kemba
Hey, first
Walker.
of all,
Now, I'll tell you, we wouldn't have showed that piece of video.
That's exactly right.
My goodness. I hope you ain't got some guy who didn't make it up there sitting in some city.